The bookstore was quiet. Rain pattered softly outside, creating a soothing rhythm that seemed to echo the calmness within. The scent of old paper and fresh ink filled the air, mingling with the earthy aroma of rain. It was a sanctuary for those who sought solace in the written word. I was browsing the new releases, my fingers trailing over the spines of countless books, when I saw her. She stood out amidst the rows of literature, like a beacon of light in the dimly lit store. Sarah. She was completely engrossed in a poetry book, her brow furrowed in concentration. Her beauty was breathtaking, not just in her appearance, but in the way she seemed to lose herself in the words on the page. She looked up, startled by my gaze. Our eyes met, and in that moment, time seemed to stand still. I felt an instant connection, a spark that ignited something deep within me. It was as if the universe had conspired to bring us together in that quiet corner of the world. We talked for hours that day, losing track of time. The rain outside continued its gentle symphony, but we were lost in our own world, sharing stories, dreams, and passions. She spoke of her love for literature, her passion for art. Her eyes sparkled with enthusiasm as she described her favorite authors and the way their words had shaped her life. I found myself captivated by her words, her laughter, her very essence. Every moment with her felt like a page from a novel I never wanted to end. I knew I had stumbled upon something rare and precious. It was more than just an encounter. It was the beginning of a story that would change the course of my life. Little did I know, it would change my life forever. As I walked out of the bookstore into the rain, I felt a sense of hope and excitement for the future, knowing that this chance encounter was the start of something truly extraordinary. We started meeting regularly. Coffee shops, art galleries, quiet corners of parks. Each stolen moment deepened our connection. Our conversations flowed effortlessly, filled with laughter and shared dreams. I found myself thinking about her constantly. But Sarah was married. Her husband was a successful businessman, always away on trips. I could see the loneliness in her eyes, the longing for a connection she wasn't finding at home. Our feelings were undeniable, yet forbidden. We were playing with fire, I knew that. But the heat of our passion was intoxicating. We were drawn to each other like moths to a flame, oblivious to the danger that lay ahead. One rainy afternoon, the world outside seemed to mirror the turmoil within. Sarah confessed she couldn't live like this anymore. The words tumbled out of her mouth, heavy with the weight of unspoken truths. The guilt, the secrecy, it was eating away at her. Every lie, every hidden glance, it all added to the burden she carried. She wanted to be with me, but could she hurt her husband? The man who had stood by her side for years, through thick and thin. Could she face the societal scorn, the whispers, the judgmental eyes of those who would never understand the depth of her struggle? I held her as she cried, her heart torn between her desires and her sense of duty. The tears flowed freely, a release of the pent-up emotions she had kept hidden for so long. I told her I loved her, that I would support her no matter what she decided. My words were a promise, a vow to stand by her side through the storm. It was her choice to make, her life to live. The decision was hers alone, and I could only hope she would find the strength to follow her heart. Days turned into sleepless nights. The weight of her decision hung heavy in the air, a constant presence that neither of us could escape. The weight of her decision hung heavy in the air. Every moment was filled with uncertainty, every breath a reminder of the choice she had to make. Then, one evening, she came to me, her eyes shining with resolve. There was a newfound determination in her gaze, a clarity that had been missing for so long. She had made up her mind. The decision that had once seemed impossible was now clear in her heart. She was leaving her husband, the life she had known, the man she had shared it with. It was all behind her now. She was stepping into the unknown, but she was doing it with courage and conviction. The news hit like a bomb. It was unexpected, a sudden jolt that shattered the calm of our lives. The letter, with its cold, unfeeling words, brought a storm of emotions crashing down upon us. Her husband was furious, devastated. His world had been turned upside down, and he didn't know how to cope with the overwhelming emotions. Anger and sorrow intertwined, creating a tempest within him. He refused to believe their marriage was over. Denial was his first line of defense, a shield against the painful reality. He clung to memories of happier times, hoping against hope that things could be mended. He blamed me, of course, the other man who had lured his wife away. In his eyes, I was the villain, the one who had destroyed his happiness. His accusations were sharp, cutting deep into the fabric of our lives. He confronted me at my apartment, his face contorted with rage. The confrontation was inevitable, a clash of emotions that had been building up for too long. His fury was palpable, a force that threatened to consume us both. He threatened me, warned me to stay away from Sarah. His words were laced with venom, each one a dagger aimed at my heart. He was desperate, willing to do anything to keep his world from falling apart. His words were venomous, filled with pain and betrayal. The intensity of his emotions was overwhelming, a torrent of anger and hurt that left no room for reason or understanding. I stood my ground, my own love for Sarah fueling my resolve. I couldn't back down, not when our love was at stake. My determination was a beacon, guiding me through the storm of his wrath. I knew I had hurt him. The guilt was a heavy burden, a constant reminder of the pain I had caused. But I couldn't change the past, couldn't undo the choices that had led us here. But I couldn't deny what Sarah and I had. Our connection was undeniable, a bond that had grown stronger with each passing day. It was a love that defied logic, a force that neither of us could resist. Our love was real, powerful, worth fighting for. It was a beacon of hope in the midst of the storm, a light that guided us through the darkest of times. We knew that together we could weather any storm. And fight we did, against his anger, against the storm that raged around us. We stood together, united in our love, determined to overcome the obstacles that life had thrown our way. The storm may have broken, but our love remained unshaken, a testament to the strength of our bond. It was a difficult time. Sarah's divorce was messy, a public spectacle. The tabloids had a field day, painting her as a heartless woman who had abandoned her husband. But through it all, we held on to each other. Our love was our anchor in the storm. We found solace in each other's arms, strength in our shared dreams. We knew we had made the right decision, no matter the cost. Love like ours, we believed, was a rare and precious thing. It was worth fighting for, worth enduring the pain and the scrutiny. We were determined to build a life together, a life filled with love and happiness. Even after the divorce, the whispers continued. Sarah's ex-husband, driven by bitterness and a desire for revenge, spread rumors. He tried to sabotage her career, to turn her friends against her. We faced social ostracism, judgmental stares, and hurtful gossip. It was as if our love was a stain, a mark of shame that we could never erase. But we refused to be defined by the past. We built a new life together, brick by brick, love by love. We found solace in our shared passions, in the quiet moments of joy and laughter. We learned to ignore the whispers, to rise above the shadows of the past. Slowly, life began to settle. Sarah's career blossomed. She found success on her own terms, her talent finally recognized. I continued to write, my words now imbued with a deeper meaning, a greater understanding of love's complexities. We created a home filled with warmth and laughter. Our love was the foundation, the bedrock upon which we built our lives. The pain of the past faded, replaced by a quiet contentment, a deep sense of belonging. We had weathered the storm, emerged stronger, our love tempered by fire. We had defied societal norms, faced our fears, and built a life that was truly our own. And it was beautiful. The past, however, has a way of resurfacing. Years later, Sarah's ex-husband, now remarried with children of his own, reached out. He apologized for his actions, admitted his bitterness had blinded him. He had finally let go of the past, he said, and wanted to make amends. Sarah, ever compassionate, met with him. They talked, not as ex-spouses harboring old grudges, but as two people who had once shared a life, however flawed. The encounter, though unexpected, brought a sense of closure. It was a reminder that time heals all wounds, that forgiveness, while difficult, is often the key to true peace. Looking back, I often marvel at the incredible journey that brought us here. Our love story wasn't conventional, it was uniquely ours. It was messy, complicated, fraught with challenges, but it was ours, undeniably. We had defied the odds, overcome obstacles that would have torn apart a lesser love, but not ours. We had faced societal disapproval, endured heartbreak and pain, and emerged stronger, our bond unbreakable and resilient. Our love had been tested in the fires of adversity and had emerged triumphant, shining brightly. It was a testament to the enduring power of love, its ability to heal, to redeem, to conquer all obstacles. We are older now, our hair streaked with silver. But the love in our eyes, the spark that ignited all those years ago, still burns bright. We have built a life filled with love, laughter, and shared dreams. We have weathered the storms, celebrated the victories, and found solace in each other's arms. Our love story isn't a fairy tale, it's real, raw, and beautifully imperfect. And as I watch the sun set over the horizon, hand in hand with my Sarah, I know that our love, like the promise of a new dawn, will last forever and always.